When it comes to drinking water in your home, a great way to improve the quality and the taste is by installing your very own home water filter. This is the water kit from Clean Sui, and what it consists of is an outlet tap, a filter cartridge, a T-piece to run off your main water supply, and all the pipes and fittings that you need to get the system up and running. Everything is in the kit. You don't need to buy any additional materials or any items. As for the tools that you're going to need, I'm using a 12mm spanner, a shifting spanner, a drill, and you'll need a 35mm hole saw. Now, if you're drilling into steel, you will need to make sure that you use a steel hole saw, suitable for steel applications. Now, if you're going to be drilling into granite or marble, you need to use a diamond drill bit. Right, let's get started with the DIY and install this filter unit. The first thing I need to do, and it's probably the hardest thing out of this DIY, is drilling the hole to accommodate this tap. Now, as you can see, I've got a granite surface there, so I'm going to be using the diamond tip bit. So 35mm in diameter, and I'm going to be using my cordless drill for it. An important reminder, you're going to be working underneath the counter as well. Remove all that clutter, all that rubbish, take it all out. It's so much easier to work in a clear, clean environment. It's a good idea to make sure you have some spare rags or spare towels around. There's more than likely definitely going to be spilling of some water inside your cupboard here, and you don't want that water to damage your cupboards absorbing into the timber. So let's keep those guys for a little bit later for when we do spill some water. Now, your tap is going to be a permanent feature in your home, so just take a little bit of time just to get it in the position that you want. I've already got an existing tap here, and I want to put this one on the opposite side, but make sure it's symmetrical. If it's not symmetrical, it's going to drive me crazy. So quick, just measure out the previous one. We've got about 110. Okay, X marks the spot. That's where I'm going to be drilling my hole. Now remember, if you're drilling into granite, you need to use a diamond bit for it. Here's that 35mm bit. What I really like about this is it comes with a little cup section, and that fills up with water, so it keeps that diamond bit cool when you are drilling into the granite. What's nice about that cup is it's actually stuck down with a double-sided tape, stops it from moving, and acts as a guide for the drill bit to stop that wandering around, so you get a nice, clean, crisp hole. All we need to do now is fill that up halfway with some cold water, connect this to our drill, and start drilling. Now, when it comes to using a diamond bit, especially on a larger diameter like this one, 35mm, you don't need to run at high speed. I'm going with a slow to medium speed, and I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm letting the drill bit do all the work. Don't overload it, don't pressure, just take your time and let that drill bit cut through that granite. And remember, check the temperature every now and again. If it does get too hot, you know you're pushing too hard, or you need to replace the water and put some cooler water in there. And remember, once we cut through, all that water is going to drain out straight down inside the cupboard, so make sure you've got some rags or towels on the underside to catch it. Okay, now the trick is to make sure that the hole is correct, and I'm just going to slide our pipes and fittings straight down. Perfect. Strong and secure. Now we're going to mount from the underside the bolt, which is going to hold that in place so it doesn't move around. Remember, make sure that you have got the rubber washer there, because that's going to seal that top section. So if you just spill any water around here, it's not going to go down through into your cupboard. I've got the tap securely mounted in place. The next step is to mount in your T-piece, where you're going to tap off your water through to your filter system. We're going in on our existing mains line here, which is feeding the existing tap. Hopefully you have got a stopcock on the inside there, then you can just isolate your water supply and then open the tap to relieve the pressure and the excess water in the system. Alternatively, you may have to turn off your mains supply to the home. Remember, water probably will still come out of the tap. It's going to trickle out. Make sure you've got some rags or some towels nearby to avoid any damage to your cupboard. We've got our T-piece in. We now need to connect up our flexible pipe from the T-piece all the way through to the tap. Pop in the washer, pop that on the end. With the main supply pipe connected, it's now time to connect the pipes to run from the tap down to the filter and then back up to the tap again. Now, if you have a look at the pipes, they're color coded to match up with the tap pipes, and there's also direction arrows so that you can't get this wrong. It really is so easy to do. Just match up the arrows in the right color pipe and then you're A for away. Don't forget to pop in the washer as you assemble it. And at this point you might need a second shifting spanner or a pair of pliers just to hold the top section of this lug and whilst you tighten the nut. And exactly the same thing for the second part, but don't forget to use the rubber washer. You can gently move these copper pipes slightly out the way to give you more access with your spanner. Pipes in, all I need to do now is connect it to my filter cartridge. Pop off the little caps. Very easy, color coded in. So let's just pop that guy on there. Pop in the next one. And to replace the cartridge, it lasts about 8,000 liters. Just unplug, pop in the new cartridge, plug it back in, and you're good to go again. Included in the kit is a little base to hold the filter. It's got a sticky pad on the underside. Pop in our filter. And that's it, the DIY is complete. We're going to turn on our water supply again. And as we open that tap, that water should pass down through the water supply into the tap, through the filter, and then back out the end of the tap, and you should have some crystal clear water. Remember, when you are using a brand new filter, you do need to flush it out for approximately 10 liters of water. With the filter flushed, you'll have crystal clear water that not only looks great, tastes better too. This DIY was so easy to do and it looks fantastic. It's neat and tidy. If you want to find out more about the filter, check out the product clip link. For this DIY, it's a wrap. If you enjoyed it, like it, share it. You can also subscribe to the Builders Fan YouTube channel. There's a range of DIYs, product reviews, and how-tos for you to get inspired, give it a go, and get it done.